Hello, my friends. Welcome to Go Buff Yourself in 1,000 Faces TTRPG presents episode 45, y'all, of the Wylde Beyond. I, as always, am Ethan. I'm going to be your DM for tonight's session, and I am joined by 5 out of 6 and a beautiful piece of artwork of the 6th, but 5 out of 6 of the wild things. We have Lauren playing Bodhi, Joe playing Wraught, Morgan playing Melon, Mav playing Otto, Sarah playing Kieren, and a beautiful piece of art representing Gromp, normally played by Devon, if necessary, played by a combination of me and Lauren tonight. We'll see if that ends up being necessary. Before we jump in to tonight's session, because we're just going to get started here before too long, just the usual announcements for you all. You can listen to past episodes of any game we play here, from one-shots to campaigns, on the Go Buff Yourself podcast. So I'm currently working on editing the Mothership one-shot that was inspired by Die Hard, and was wild, featuring Lauren and a few other of our friends. Thank you so much for following. And, other announcements before we jump in. This is an 18+ stream. For language, drug use in and legally out of game, content, all of that, just a general CYA, this is 18+. And if you choose to make it not 18+, we tried. That's all Twitch can ask of us. So, with that said, I don't think there are any other general announcements. We will be hearing where you can find all of these wonderful players at the end of the stream, along with what they've got going on coming up in 2025. So be sure to stick around for that. Forgot to announce this. I got a mouthy cat down here. Love him, but he's being super mouthy. He's going to act
just like your players.
Sounds like he hasn't been fed. He is lying. Absolutely lying. So, the new canon is that there are a bunch of stray cats around Loomlurch. Why? I don't know. The hag is a crazy cat lady. Kind of works. So, I say, having 6 cats in this house right now, we're going to go ahead and jump in to the intro so that we can start playing session 45 of the Wylde Beyond. The countdown on Otto's arm that was revealed there after making a deal with the hag Bavlorna Blightstraw is now under 1 day remaining. But in order to fulfill that bargain, you need to break a mirror belonging to Scabatha Nightshade here in the Fields of Spring, specifically here in Loomlurch, a large compound made out of a fallen tree that apparently used to be the hunting lodge of Oberon before his disappearance. Prior to coming here, you all had met a group of runaway children, the Getaway Gang, led by one Will of the Feywild. Will had told you all how he used to work for Scabatha Nightshade, helping to recruit children. Recruit being a gentle euphemism here. And those children would then work as slave labor in Granny Nightshade's workshop. After escaping himself, he helped others to escape, and now wants to take down the whole operation, or at minimum, free all of the remaining children. And so he had a plan. That plan involved you all going to Loomlurch, arranging a meeting. Sorry, I'm looking at what this cat is doing. He is on one. The plan started with you all heading to Loomlurch and arranging a meeting with Granny Nightshade. How you would do that, he did not know. Upon doing so, with you all beginning to meet with Granny Nightshade, a distraction would then be caused. Will's plan was for the other members of the getaway gang, Bobby, Sloan, Zenor, and maybe even Star, would alert the screaming scarecrows that serve as a type of watchman around Loomlurch. After that, you all would free some of the children, specifically those in the workshop, while Will went and freed those in the textile area. After that, you all would run and meet up at Little Oak. That was the plan, as set forth by Will. And last we left, you all had started to enact that plan. Gromp stayed farthest back, casting Liamon's tiny hut to create a fallback position, if needed. Kieren, turned invisible by Gromp, started to investigate the western side of Loomlurch, while the others in two separate groups headed to the eastern side. Wraught and Otto headed to the Goblin Market here, while Bodhi, Melon, and the Blink Dog Rune arced farther out and stayed inside the trees, watching, waiting for their opportunity to make a distraction or do whatever was needed. Kieren found a garden and found a strange rocking horse with a depression in the center of its head. Also looked through a few windows, saw a few children here working, along with several tin soldiers guarding them. Wraught and Otto split off, bought a few items, and last we left had met up and were going to speak with one of the goblins that you were pointed towards, specifically one with what looks like a rotting candied apple as a head. But it has a jagged mouth cut out of it, wide, hollowed out eyes. There's a stem that grows from the top of this goblin's head, has this yellowish, tanned, and mottled red skin. And this goblin, which is about 3 3/4 feet, is wearing a green tunic and green and orange-ish striped pants. And when we last left off, you all were approaching Wraught and Otto. And so we pick up right there. As you start to head over to where this goblin is, the one that was indicated to you, he has his arms crossed, is looking out over the market, and seems to be muttering to himself. I could die of it. No. No.
Is there anybody around that he might be speaking to?
There are goblins and those small pinkish things that look like shrunken versions of goblins running about, but none of them acknowledges the fact that this goblin said anything. So if he was speaking to them, they're ignoring him.
I'm gonna glance down at Otto. You wanna take point?
Otto's face is just kind of disheveled at this point until he goes, "Yep, no problem. Hi, excuse me, sir."
Yeah? Who are you?
Not really important. Me and my friend here, we're out of town, and we were looking to possibly talk to, the lady of the house or the town. We heard that she would be able to assist us in getting Leafy Stone. We're trying to get to the next area and we can't cross.
Make me a persuasion check.
Sweet boy. Okay, that we're gonna burn those early. That was a nat 20, so 28.
Jesus.
Fuck, damn it.
What did you say you wanted to see her for? Some stone?
Yeah, Leafy Stone. We heard that she could provide us.
No idea what that is, but no, it's very clearly important to them. So I can tell this is important to you. So, sure, why not? I have no idea where she is right now, but I'll see if I can set up a meeting for you.
Well, I really appreciate that. I really do.
As the sooner the better would be best.
Well, she's probably gonna ask some questions, so the who are you part kind of comes back. It's harder to say to random people. We're wanting an audience.
What if we come along and introduce ourselves directly?
Not sure. Might be best if you are wanting an audience, that I at least make the
Witchlight
introduction.
Monarch
There,
like
see, that's all I needed was a title. That perfect. And you said for a stone?
Leafy Stone.
Okay, I'll sure. We weren't doing anything here anyway right now, so be back. And the goblin with these pointed shoes just kind of starts walking off and again muttering seemingly to himself. Look, because it was the right thing to do. It clearly mattered to them, and not doing anything else, so why not? Okay, Scabatha. And, starts walking one way, walks about 3 feet, nope, and just does a heel turn and starts walking the other way.
Have you noticed that when you smile, people just do what you want? No, don't you do that to me.
No, it goes away. Yeah, I know. Kindness, honey, more things. Yeah. It's just, you're just nice to people and things happen, I guess. I don't fucking know.
Things happen whether or not you're nice to people.
Yeah. I guess. What are you going to do about your toes?
Oh, yeah. Your toes are still roots, and your skin still looks as though it is carved from stone or from wood.
I'm redwood now.
Yes.
You know, that was actually kind of funny. I'm not even gonna hold that to you. That
Listen, if it really comes down to it, we can go back to that logging camp and I'll stick my feet in the saw.
Brutal.
You could just ask Bodhi to cut your nails for you.
I don't want Bodhi touching my feet. He has to pay for that.
Not for free. When you're good at something, never do it for free.
What was that? Who was?
I offer him the candied cockroach.
Did that turn that into you? What did?
Yeah. You might want to save it for a rainy day.
Puts the candy in his bag. Okay.
So while this is happening, I do want to check in really quick with Bodhi, Melon, and Rune. The three of you were set up deeper into the tree line so you didn't have to risk being seen. But then you just set up to wait. And so, as you've been here for about 15 minutes by this point, what are you doing?
So yeah, I get it, but it's like meat that is either raw or rare is just better, but why is it weird that it's like some meats are better when they're smoked? Because it's like I've noticed I take those same meats, I'm trying to have them rare, and they're just way too tough.
It brings out the natural flavors, man. Different cooking temperatures really highlight the flavors.
Raw is the best way.
I'm with you.
Cooking
But it's like some of them are
wastes
just
time.
tough.
Oh man, don't you want to savor the moment? We have so precious few on this plane of existence. Okay, man, just fucking eat it however you want, man. I'm not gonna yuck your yum. I'm just saying maybe just, taste your food sometimes.
I don't know, I normally just ate to survive.
I get that.
And as this conversation about the different merits of cooking or not cooking meats is being had, we cut to the opposite side of Loomlurch. Kieren, last we left you, you had glanced inside one of the rooms from a window. You'd actually glanced in two. Both of them seemed to be certain forms of workshops with sewing equipment, textile equipment, children, tin soldiers, all of that. And so as we return to you, still outside, what are you doing at this point?
Well, Will said that he was going to try to spring the kids in the textile place, or the sewing shop or whatever it was, which I assume that's what I was looking at before, maybe? Or was it like a workshop?
Well, both had, like, sewing equipment in it, but if between the two rooms that you looked at, this one seems more, based off of the size, the word mill, this one has, the three freestanding looms in here. There's a loud, repetitive clattering from machines that you can hear through the window. Definitely seems more like a mill than the other smaller room you looked into.
So Kai's just going to make a mental count of the number of kids he's seeing in the mill and kind of chalk those up for ones for Will, hopefully.
You see three.
But then for the other place, how many were in there?
The first one that you glanced in, I believe, had two that you saw. Yes, two. There was a bugbear child and one so small you had to guess was likely a halfling child.
How did Will ever tell us how many kids were possibly in Granny Nightshade's workshop?
He didn't.
Like, am I looking at all of them, or is this like?
He didn't give a specific number. Also, possibly because he genuinely didn't know. It had been a while.
Okay. I'm gonna keep trying to look around because I still want to find the mirror. If there's any way to get in a place that doesn't seem like it's super populated, because I only looked through two windows. I think you said there was three. Like, another one was up on another floor.
Yes, there was another that was 20 feet up.
Am I anywhere close to that? Because I already climbed onto the second floor to see in these windows.
Yes, you could climb back up to look into the additional window. No check needed, because you had already made that check earlier. This one that you climb up to, let me pull this up really quick. 2 seconds. Seems to be a dormitory of sorts. There are beds in here, small ones. From what you can see just through this, you would kind of guess this is likely where the children sleep. It has, what you can see from here, it looks like 9, maybe 10 beds in here. Well, bunk beds. So up to 20 beds in here that you can see.
Is anyone in here?
There, you see two figures in here. Both children. But the window's a little dirty, so you can't make out too many details as you're just glancing in. If you wanted to make a perception check to try to see more things, you absolutely could.
Sure.
All right. Then let's roll it.
I have a +8 modifier and only get a 9.
9? Then here's what I'll see that you're able to tell. The two figures are on the same bed, one lying in it and one sitting on the side of it. And the one sitting on the side of it seems to be mopping the brow of the other with a cloth.
Is there any way to open the window?
Do you try?
Sure, why not? But maybe stealthily. Because I'm still invisible, but I don't want it to be obvious that I'm breaking in.
It has almost no give, which makes you think that it was either a window that was not designed to be open or it is very securely sealed. Now, that doesn't mean there's no way in. That just means it is not currently opening.
I'd like to find a way in.
Okay. I would say that looking at this window design, the most likely way in that you're able to determine is breaking in. Like, breaking in. Because you don't see anything on the outside or any indication of where it might be locked. Not with the previous perception check. So you could break your way in. That's definitely an option.
Can I use my knife and try to break the seal around the glass to pop it out?
So like individual panes, trying to remove those. Okay.
I'm a rogue. I'm going to do rogue shit. This is a Mission Impossible bullshit right here.
That's absolutely cool. So what I'm going to ask for then is going to be a dexterity check. I'll let you add your proficiency modifier in here as well, because you are proficient at this type of thing.
We do know that his second favorite thing is breaking out of jail, so...
He really does love it.
I can break into jail now, too. Well, let's hope I got that nat 1 out of my system. 21.
21.
This +7.
Okay. Then, yeah, and this is not an attack. This is not a spell, so your invisibility is not impacted by this. So you just, taking your knife across, start to cut away at the seal, trying to pop one of these out. And the figure who is sitting on the side of the bed looks towards the window and squints. And then goes back to attending to the figure in the bed. You're invisible. All right, so as you start cutting your way in, we are going to cut back to the Goblin Market. And
if the overseer kind of went inside the front door, we might wander over towards it. I want a closer look at those toy soldiers who are standing watch.
Sure, no problem. You head over that way, and there are 2 toy soldiers right at the front entrance to Loom Lurch itself. Is there anything in particular you're trying to look at or for?
Weaknesses? Wobbly joints, whether they're top heavy or not.
Interesting. All fair questions. Go ahead and make me a perception check, please. Or investigation check.
$16 with a 13 plus 3.
Okay. So, in terms of weaknesses or vulnerabilities, there's nothing that particularly catches your eye. They don't look particularly fast, and not insanely durable. They do seem to be made out of tin, so probably fairly easy to take one down.
Possibly also easy to melt, considering tin has a very low melting point.
That is absolutely a potential. So you don't think that these particular constructs would be immune to fire. They do have the poles that they're holding are not really spears. They are catch poles. They have like little loops at the top of them.
Oh my
And that can
god,
be
it's the
pulled-
child catcher.
Yeah, 100%. Who do you think they are here to catch? And
Get the car, guys. It's chitty chitty bang bang time.
So those are the things that you are able to notice in this brief moment, because not too long after, the door that you are standing near opens, and the candy apple-headed goblin comes back out.
Okay, she said that she would meet with you right inside here in the parlor. If you'll follow me, I guess.
And turns and walks
You're
inside.
such a lovely and accommodating goblin.
He is. He really is.
See? Lovely. Did you hear that?
Oh, what's your name, by the way?
Chucklehead is the name. Apparently setting up meetings is the game now. Nice to meet you.
You're excellent at it.
If you're gonna do something, might as well be excellent at it.
5 stars.
Oh, thank you. Not sure what I can do with those, but it's better than 4.
The chamber that you enter immediately into, with the tin guards outside giving very little notice. One second, let me change the vibe here. Quick.
Oh no, I like that nice soothing vibe.
I know it was nice, but we gotta change it up. Hold on. Yeah, that'll do. The chamber that you enter into, following behind Chucklehead, is nestled between walls of twisted roots. And it is incredibly clear to you, if it hadn't been already, that you are inside a hollowed out tree. But one that doesn't quite make sense to your brain, with the roots being here on the inside of it. You can see part of the walls here aren't even solid because it is made of so much twisted roots. You can still see through some gaps in the roots out to the marketplace. You can hear the chatter of the goblins out there. And directly opposite of where you entered, there is another door. There are 4 very comfortable looking, if not cracked and weathered, armchairs in here. There is a small table in between the chairs that seems to already have been laid out for a tea service.
Oh, that's nice.
Well, I was told that Nightshade will, Granny, Nightshade will meet you in here as soon as she's available. Please help yourself to whatever that is. And, bye!
And starts to turn to leave.
Thank you again.
Turns with
Bye.
a more flourishing bow than you might have expected from this goblin. And as one of the tin soldiers reaches back to shut the door, you can just hear Chucklehead, again, to no one in particular.
Pays off to do nice things in the end.
And the door shuts.
See?
I'm not taking advice from him. All right. No lying. We just allude.
I haven't been.
You never do.
Yeah. You're right.
I'm gonna go sit down at the little table and try not to let my feet grow into the living tree around us, I guess. Unless it's giving me a psychic connection.
As you sit down in one of the chairs, just a few seconds later, actually, the roots begin to grow back into your toes, and your scales begin to take on a more normal hue as the effect of that candy wears off. Not
Whatever
permanent.
that effect was.
So,
So fucking weird.
I didn't ask for this.
You bought it though. But technically you did. You bought it.
While he's going like that, I'd like to tap into my mental connection with Kai and go, how's it going?
On a bunch of kids in a bunch of rooms, and I'm doing some thief shit.
You're not a thief.
Just claim it rogue shit.
So as the two of you are waiting in here, is there anything you would be doing?
Can I investigate the tea service?
Sure.
Not that I want to eat any of it.
The cups are filthy. Hasn't been poured yet, and the cups are filthy. And where there normally would be a spoon, a small spoon for stirring, there is a chicken bone instead.
I'll pick up the chicken bone and just observe.
A small maggot crawls around the side of it and onto your claw. Flick it back down.
These hags are such a delight. They're such a delight. I love everything that I find out about them every time we visit.
Yeah. So fun. Otto will actually like to use his wonderful cloak that he bought and turn it into something more regal-ish.
Okay.
We're gonna go with green and gold.
Very nice.
With the emblem on the cape is a rabbit that has a horn crown like me and butterfly wings in the back, but they're like elven vines.
Love that. Love that.
Yeah.
So, with Wraught and Otto seeming to have been granted an audience and waiting here inside the study, we cut once again back out to Bodhi, Melon, and Rune. Is there anything the two of you would like to do, or would be doing?
You can say if there's anything you want to be doing. That took the first one.
Cause we're just waiting. We're just hanging out. So I never really asked if you could go anywhere. Where would it be?
Home.
What does that look like for you?
A roof over my head, somewhere warm, and a full pantry.
That's a good one. Cool. And he's just going to, Bodhi is just going to awkwardly fill the silence with questions of a frivolous nature, mostly.
Rune begins
Which is
casually
weird.
grooming himself.
Just like I was gonna say, it's like if you're asking about nature, Melon knows a lot about nature.
True.
But it's like it's more of like not the scientific nature of stuff. It's like the woodsman style of knowing about nature. It's like, yeah, no, don't eat that. That's gonna make you the shits. Don't do that.
Don't do that. Slaps hand.
No, don't do that.
All right. We then cut over to Kieren. You have successfully managed to pop out. Just so you know, this is one of those windows that has not lattice work, but like a grid of 9 smaller panels forming one window with wood in between them. And as you pop out the center one and you're able to reach in and feel around a little bit, you do notice a bar that is secured that seems to be making it so that the window can't be opened. That you, while reaching in, likely could just pop out of place.
Now that I can see inside a little bit better, I'm gonna stick my head in a little bit too and kind of like do that look around to make sure there's no one else.
The one lying on the bed begins to cough. And the preteen human boy sitting on the side of the bed. Shh. It's all right, brother. I'm here. It's all right. We're gonna get something to help. It's all right. So hot. I know you're running a fever, but it'll be all right. I'm here with you, okay?
And they're still the only 2 that are in the room?
Yep.
So I'll pop the bar off the window and as quietly as I can kind of step inside. What does the inside of this room look like?
Are you, so you said as quietly as you can. So could you just make me a stealth check as you pop the bar off the window?
I'm good at that.
Don't forget you're invisible still.
$15?
50?
Just even with a +7.
So that's actually worth me rolling. Oh, all right. So you pop the bar and the boy sitting on the side of the bed. Who's there? Who's there? Who's there?
Don't worry about it, kid. Don't worry about it. You're okay. Does your friend need help?
Yeah, he's sick.
Great. Is there anything that you know that can help him?
What am I talking to right now?
Your fairy goat father.
Make me a deception check. I mean, it's kind of true, but make me a deception check. It's probably not going to be high as a kid. Nope.
Finally, I get the freaking 18 + 6, so that's a 24.
And he didn't even need it because he got a 4. So you beat his insight by 20. And so, I have a fairy goat father? Broder, did you hear that? Fairy goat father. Happy for you, bud. Oh, fairy goat father. My friend is sick. Ate something bad, I think. Can you help?
Well, you have to tell me how to help first. Is there anything around here that can help cure him?
Maybe.
There's anything that can help this kid?
Maybe. There's this mushroom that grows. That I've seen when I walk by. That Granny Nightshade grows. It's pinkish and blue. Has an umbrella shape to it. It can. I've read that it can be like an antitoxin. So maybe that.
Guy's gonna be sitting there just like silently for a moment to be like, holy shit.
If that's not too much to ask. Oh, fairy goat father.
Your wish is granted. One moment. And he's gonna like push the rest of the way through the window, pull the mushroom that I grabbed. I was gonna give it to Bodhi again, out of my pocket and like set it on Broder's chest so it's visible again.
Yeah, and so it just materializes on Broder's heaving chest, and the other one. Oh, there's a lot to process right now. Okay, all right, Broder, I need you to eat this, okay? It's gonna be gross, but it's gonna help. My fairy goat father gave it to me. It'll help. All right, anything. And the human boy helps the dwarf in the bed chew this mushroom down a little bit. Ugh. That tastes worse than the cooking here. Yeah. Sorry, buddy. Oh! Fairy goat father! Shh. Oh, fairy goat father. Thank you for helping my friend. If it's not too much to ask, did you get us out of here?
That's the plan.
Ah!
Now, when there's probably going to be a lot of noise, and you're going to take everyone that you can and get out of here, okay? You're going to run straight out the front door. Do you know where that is from here?
Yeah, but there are guards everywhere.
We're gonna try to take care of that. Don't worry, Fairy Goat Father's got this. Now, we're also trying to help other kids, but that requires knowing where they are, and also, very important, if Granny Nightshade has a mirror here.
As you mention the mirror... Actually, let me check the positioning of something exactly. No. As you mention a mirror... Mirror... Do you mean the one that is in the family tree room?
Might be. Someone else's life is depending on this, too. I've got a lot of people I'm trying to help right now.
I mean, that's the only nice mirror I know about. There are other pieces. There are mirrors in a lot of rooms. What kind do you need?
Now, where is the family room?
Oh,
I'm not omniscient. I'm just a fairy goat father.
Okay, yeah, of course. I'm sorry, goat father. I didn't mean to assume anything.
I forgive you. It's okay. I love you.
So it's between. And he seems to process what you just said in the middle of his sentence. There's, you have to, if you're going through Loomlurch to get from the factory to the textile mill, you have to go through the family room. That's why they don't normally take us through it. They take us outside. But you can get there. It's, kind of towards the back of Loomlurch.
Do I see what direction he points?
Yeah, I mean, just gestures towards the way you were heading. Kind of, actually, the general direction of where the rocking horse was.
Now, I saw 5 other children that were going to help. Do you know where the rest are? I saw 2 in what looked like textile places.
Yeah, the sewing room, the mill, and the workshop. And here. That's usually where they keep us.
Where's the workshop?
It's right towards the front of the tree, the bottom, I guess, of the tree.
Will you go through there in order to go out the front door?
Yes.
Good. Along the way, grab all of them.
Okay.
You'll hear lots of noise, and if you don't hear it, I'll come back in.
What if they find us though and catch us? Granny and I shall be mad.
We'll come back for you. We'll make sure that doesn't happen.
We?
Goat fathers have herds.
Thank you, Goat Father. If for nothing else, for helping my friend. Oh, we'll be listening.
And here's something for you, too. And I gave him one of my knives.
Where does it appear? Just so that I
It
know.
appears on the bed next to Broder, closer to this child whose name I don't know.
Fair enough. The
Be safe.
the knife just appears there, and the boy's eyes go wide looking at it. Best fairy goat father ever. And we cut to the parlor, where Wraught and Otto have been waiting. The door opposite the... Well, actually, before that, is there anything the two of you have been doing in here in particular?
Otto's just kind of looking around, just finding all the exits of this place, in case anything goes wrong.
As far as you can
I'd
tell,
like to crack the door and stick my snout out just to see if there's like guards standing right outside.
back the way you came? Is that what you mean? Oh yeah, they're still there. You crack the door open, and one of the circular tin guard heads just rotates to look at you. You blow a kiss,
Shut that door again.
gets a little bit of blush on the metal face, and then goes back. And Otto, to your question as in terms of exits, you only see two doors. The one you came in, and the one directly opposite. And
what about windows?
there aren't really any windows in this one, but like I said, there are gaps in the roots that are intertwined that make this room that you can still see out a little bit. Not as much as a full window, at least in terms of individual gaps. And as the two of you are looking around, the doorway opposite the one that you came in, the one that leads deeper into Loom Lurch, creaks open. And a little old woman totters forward. And by little, I mean probably about 4'10". She's wearing a grimy, old-fashioned looking shawl. Her skin looks like gnarled bark. But she's almost dressed up like almost like a porcelain doll would be dressed. Even her gnarled skin has heavy amounts of makeup on it, or paint,
Lolita
to
hag.
achieve the painted doll effect, but it's cracked. And as she turns around and closes the door, you also see that she has a large iron key protruding from her back that is currently slowly but rhythmically ticking and rotating. She turns back to you, the several petticoats of burgundy and blue and the white apron-like petticoat on top, all filthy and tattered. And as she continues to totter towards you all, in a voice reminiscent of crunching leaves,
Sit down, children. Let's have some tea.
And settles into one of the armchairs with a very practiced little routine of nestling herself down into it, leans forward and begins to pour tea into those filthy cups, dumps out a grotesque amount of sugar into her own, and then picks up the chicken bone and leans back and begins to stir. And then just takes a long, drawn-out
I'll accept my tea and take a little tiny taste.
I will take the same amount of sugar that she took in hers and then drink it.
She gives you in shape, what would be a very warm smile, and genuine. In reality, it's a twisted thing to look upon. But she smiles at you as you dole out your sugar, and then realizing that there are no extra spoons, leans forward to pass you the chicken bone.
You have a beautiful home, and it's such an honor to be allowed inside.
Well, then, why don't you tell me why you wanted inside, children? One does not usually ask for a meeting with Granny Nightshade simply for my pleasant company.
No one else has offered us tea. As so far, your company triumphs over all.
It is...
Except Chucklehead. He was very nice to us.
It is a host's responsibility to provide for guests. But pleasant as small talk is, why are you here?
Otto hands back the chicken bone after stirring it quite well.
Takes it and
Well,
just tosses it onto the tea service.
Well, ma'am, I'm the Witchlight Monarch, and this is my vizier. And we are traveling through the Feywild, and we were told for us to go to the next area, we would need something called a Leafy Stone.
Ah, so you wish to travel to yon? That is possible. For a price. Everything for a price, children.
We have noticed that.
I, fortunately, happen to have the power to craft such a stone that would allow you passage into yon. But first, I would need the ingredients.
We'd be happy to provide them if we knew what they were.
The second would be the payment. Now, what you ask is no small feat of magic. Centuries of skill go into the crafting of such a thing. So the bargain must be something equally important to me. You two seem capable individuals, yes?
Yes,
We
ma'am.
like to style ourselves as such.
There is.
The key on her back begins to tick and spin quickly, or faster, as you respond in the affirmative. And she again gives you a warm but yellow and cracked and broken smile.
There is a thorn in my side. Remove this thorn. Bring it to me, and I will craft your stone.
Does this thorn have a name?
Yes. Will of the Feywild is how he is titling himself. An ungrateful pest. Find him, bring him to me, and the stone is yours, along with my gratitude.
And if we were needing direction to find him?
If I knew where he was, he would already be in my grasp.
An excellent point. Is there
Thank
anything
you.
else you need for your Leafy Stone while we hunt your pest?
Bring him to me, and then we can worry about the acquisition of the necessary ingredients.
What, if you don't mind me asking, what did he exactly do?
There is a rule. Several rules here in the Feywild. Reciprocity and hospitality are two of them. I was his host. He lived in my home and did not treat his host with proper respect. And therein comes the reciprocity I owe him.
And the key on her back has started to slow down.
Does she seem to be slowing down with the key, or does she
Nope.
seem just as perky?
I mean, she seems just as alive. In this exact moment, she wasn't very perky with what she was talking about. But you do, I will say, make me an insight check.
$22.
The key does seem to change speeds as her mood does. So when she was in a slightly more upbeat mood, the key was going faster, and when she started talking about Will, it slowed down to the point of you thought it had stopped, except there are just the occasional tick, tick.
So it would be reasonable to assume that the faster it goes, the better her mood.
That would be a reasonable assumption based off the information you currently have.
File that away.
Well,
In
I
that
will
case,
say-
go ahead. Monarch.
Oh. Well, I was going to. You mentioned your home, and you welcomed him in your home, and it's quite a very lovely place, from in here and that you've done out in the market and everything, and it's kind of a really good job. How long have you been here, per se?
Time is strange here.
Learning that.
Longer than a little while, and not quite as long as a long time.
Well, you did a wonderful job of. Did you take the tree down, or did it?
As you're saying this and you gesture around at the walls, the key starts to spin a little bit faster, but it's still relatively slow. And Wraught, you notice as Granny Nightshade's eyes narrow, as if she's looking at something and inspecting something. She leans forward a little bit as Otto is gesturing.
Is it something about us or something out in the room?
She's looking at Otto.
Granny Nightshade, I've been thinking about your bargain for this Leafy Stone, and to me, it sounds more than reasonable. I think that child or person or Will, it sounds like a baby name, let's be real, has wronged you in some terrible way. And I can assure you, and I would even make a promise on it, that next time I see this person, I will seize them.
And deliver him to me personally.
I will do my utmost.
Well, not quite a contract, but a deal then.
But of course, I'd be willing to shake on it.
As you say that, her eyes drift once more back towards Otto.
Something tells me one of you already has.
And she steps towards you, Otto, faster than you might have expected. And she grabs your wrist, flipping your forearm over, and puts a long fingernail on the half tally mark remaining on your arm.
This seems an interesting story. I know this magic. Here is your chance.
Her key is still as stone.
Right now is your chance. There won't be a second. What's this?
And she stabs into your forearm hard enough that you think it might draw blood. And is looking straight at you. Her face, because of her height, not far from you. And this painted, cracked-faced monstrosity of a woman staring at you with fiery intensity.
Well, that mark there means, well, I was asked to do something by another hag. I can't think of her name. She has like little frog people. She makes little frog copies of herself.
Avlorna, my liege.
Oh yeah, Bavlorna. Is that
what?
Do you know who that is?
I am familiar in the most unpleasant of ways. She's my sister.
Oh.
That must make family reunions a little awkward.
We are fortunate enough to have few. Now, what did my dear sister ask of you?
Well, she asked. That's easy. What she did is she asked of me to meet you. She sent me here to come and talk to you about a leafy stone.
I need a deception check.
I told you not to lie, you little bitch.
Hey, she didn't roll great. I'll let you know, even with advantage, because she rolled the same number twice.
Mute. You hear me?
Yep.
Okay, cool. 16 plus 5.
Strange. Why did she wish you to have a leafy stone?
A friend of ours lost something that we're hunting for. It might very well be in yon.
And she leans back.
You said that you were the Witchlight Monarch. Is it safe to assume that this thing that was lost while there?
Yes, ma'am.
And yet we're not entirely sure what it is.
Oh my god.
Well, then, I regret that I cannot provide it directly, but you and Bavlorna are correct. Anything that we had taken from any at the carnival has already been sent to Queen Mab in Yon. So if you wish to retrieve whatever it was that your friend lost, you will indeed have to go there. And that
Hence the Leafy Stone.
Hence the leafy stone. But I am still perplexed on one issue. You say that your friend lost something, and that is why you wish to travel to Yon. This I understand fully. But what led to a contract being made with my sister for that? What did she provide? And what did you provide?
Oh, the information was to meet you and to seek you out. But we wanted to help a fellow person in Downfall get his heart back. Because he had given it to her to, what was it?
The ice elf, my liege, that she
Yes.
was using to cool her fridge.
Yes. I'm in the process of helping people, and that's what I like to do.
So, that is all true, what you just said. And so, this time I need a persuasion check from you.
Can it be an advantage because I'm helping?
Sure, I'll allow that. Especially since I get advantage, that seems fair.
$24.
Damn. There's still something here that does not make sense to me, but... I suppose it does not matter. Whatever deal you have foolishly struck with my sister is yours to deal with, and... Oh, I assume that there were more of those marks. Counting down the days?
There were.
Well...
And her key starts to spin very quickly.
Then I suppose I will be seeing you and Will within a day. Or... well, you know the rest better than I.
Actually, I really don't know what actually happens when this ticks down. I'm not really familiar with your sister's magic, so can you enlighten me? It sounds like you guys are like the best of friends. So, I know things about siblings and whatnot. I have a really big family, so yeah, I know siblings get mad at each other.
Her magics...
Don't we just?
Her magics are... small, at least compared to others. Acolyte. But as for what will happen, should you fail to keep whatever word it was that you in fact gave her, the consequences will entirely depend upon how significant a promise was made and how much she cares. It could be anything from a mild headache to remind you that you've done bad. Maybe the color of your eyes might change. But if it was something bigger, something that mattered to her, well, those changes and consequences would be much more noteworthy. If you need the nitty-gritty details for inspiration to bring Will to me, so that you may hold your end of this contract, I would be happy to give you examples.
I have a vivid imagination.
I don't.
Shut up.
Have you ever thought of being an owl?
Constantly.
Well,
I mean, owls are nice.
maybe you might have the opportunity to see for a very, very long time what it is like to be one. My sister does have a penchant for owls and toads.
Especially toads. We did notice this.
That does seem more likely so. My guess would be something involving that.
Wonderful to know. In that case, let's go will hunting, my liege.
May I have my arm back, please?
As if just noticing that she was still gripping into your wrist just releases.
Of course. Well, I shall keep the kettle warm for you since you shan't be long.
Oh, question. What does Will look like?
She walks over to, or actually, she says,
If you wait here, I can get one of his wanted posters for you.
That would be wonderful, thank you.
She stands, turns, and begins to head to the door that she entered in through. And with that, we're going to cut to Kieren right now. After delivering the knife and the hummingbrella mushroom to the two lads, and then removing yourself once again from the room, now what?
I want to go the direction that he pointed towards the family room or something.
Yeah.
Where he said possibly a mirror was.
The direction that he points leads you the same way that you came before, and the last door on this side, that direction, is the one right by the unicorn. Or excuse
Do I
me,
have to, like,
rocking
pass
horse.
by? Do I have to pass by the rocking horse?
It
or
is.
it still outside?
It is still there. It is right. It's like not directly next to the door, but like 12 feet from the door.
Well, I'm still invisible, so I'm gonna try to like sneak around behind it.
Yeah, you still have about half an hour of that left. So yes, you begin to head towards that door, and as you head to...
Before I go in, can I go around like the back side of the unicorn? Because I want to try to pull the fairy goat father thing again of like the ethereal voice.
Sure, absolutely. You walk around the back of the rocking horse, yeah?
What was his name again, you guys? I don't have that notebook in front of me.
I'll give you guys a chance to do it before I do. First one who gets it gets a luck point.
Because I know her name was Lamorna.
Illidan.
Illidan and
Eladon,
I remember
that's
Lamorna.
true.
Eladon.
So take a luck point.
Look. Ah!
There we go.
Thank you.
Good job. Good job.
It was on the page that was stuck together. I was like,
Mine,
move, bitch!
that page of mine actually got ripped out and I lost it.
Yeah.
I grabbed the wrong notebook first.
I didn't write it down.
I have a notepad while I find my other notebook. So if I can get behind this rocking horse, I'm gonna try to whisper. I'm gonna stay close to the door in case it tries to do anything to fairies.
Okay.
And I'll be like, Eladon, if it's you in there, we're gonna try to get you out and back to Lamorna. She knows you're here now.
From the position that you're in, you're not like perfectly behind it. There's a slight angle. Like I said, this thing has a rictus grin painted on its face. But as you start talking from behind it, you can see the painted eye on the side of the head you can see snap back towards where the sound is coming from. It isn't like three-dimensional, the eyeball. So it's literally just like the painted pupil moves towards the back as you start talking.
If you can understand me, look forward and then backwards.
Vroom, vroom.
Great. If you stay here, we're gonna try to get you out, okay? Do you know where your horn is? If it's a no, stay looking backwards. If it's a yes, look forward and then backwards again.
Doesn't move his eye.
Okay, thank you. Otherwise, we'll come and get you. Hold tight.
Flick, flick.
I'm gonna go into the room.
Door's locked. But has a keyhole.
Can I try to pick it?
Absolutely. Go ahead and make me that lock-picking check. So that's going to be dexterity plus proficiency for you.
Because I have thieves' tools, yeah.
Yeah, you do. Yeah, you do.
Is this the first lock you've had to pick?
Yes, it is.
It took
You better be
45
good. You love
sessions.
breaking out
Well,
of stuff.
I guess for you, it took 35 sessions for the rogue
But
to pick a lock.
I finally get to break through a window and pick a lock. Yeah.
It's the roguiest day for this rogue ever.
22.
Ooh, easy.
15 plus 7.
Easily. So, yeah, you just get your thieves' tools in there for a sec, look around, and with a 22, not only are you able to unlock it, you're able to do so quietly. So, the room that you step into, quietly turning and shutting the door, holding the doorknob so that the latch doesn't make any sound, and then releasing it. You turn and look around, and the walls themselves in here are a dense tangle of tree roots and brambles. There's a wooden staircase that hugs one of the walls as it climbs upward. There are almost embedded. They're on the wall, but because of the way the wall is roots and brambles, there are 5 portraits that are kind of embedded here among the plant matter. And they move. Slightly. Not a lot. But they move, change positions a little. Like I said, there are 5. 4 of them that you see depict ancient, wrinkled, frightening-looking women. Their countenances showing very little sign of kindness, at least. The countenances you can see. One of them you can't quite make out. The 5th portrait is of a much lovelier, in comparison to the other 4, woman, dark-haired, svelte. There are 3 additional doors that you notice in this room, all closed, and a tall, oval mirror in a wooden frame built into a bookcase on one of these walls. I will say that you recognize one of the individuals in one of the portraits easily. Bavlorna is hard to forget. The other figures that you see in the portraits, like I said, one of them raven-haired, young, looks like maybe early 40s, late 30s. The third, a woman who looks like a mockery of a porcelain doll with a iron key in her back. The 4th portrait is of a figure entirely in black with a black headpiece and a black gossamer veil in front of the face. And the painter did an exquisite job depicting what was behind the veil. And it looks just like a skull. The 5th figure is looks more like a human woman, but again, ancient, wrinkles on top of wrinkles, gold rings, gold fingernails. Barely any hair left on her wrinkled head, just little wires of white hair still remaining there. And these heavy-looking gold earrings that, given the age of this individual, pulls down on the earlobe so that the earlobe is stretching down. And that's what you see in here.
How big is the mirror?
Tall, the mirror, it's probably about 4.5 feet. 5, maybe.
But if it's oval, could I maybe tuck it under an arm?
It's currently built into a bookcase.
Okay. I'm going to do the mental connection thing to Wraught and go,
I found the mirror too, and the rocking horse, Eladon knows we're here to help him, so as soon as the alarm goes, or let me know when I have to smash and grab, but I found a bunch of kids too.
Obviously, it's probably over several messages if they're only allowed to be 20 words.
They're not allowed to be 20 words. I'm a psychic sorcerer.
Ah, there we go.
Also found a couple of kids, so as soon as shit goes off, I can do a smash and grab and get the hell out of Dodge.
Love that. Our host is something. But I do feel like she's got a key stuck in her back. I wonder what would happen if we snatched it out.
We are going to cut really quick because I want to check in once again with those who are in the tree line. I know that your job was to hang back until it was time to make a commotion, but I just wanted to check in, see if y'all were doing anything at this exact moment.
Probably finally inspecting the flamethrower, see how it works. Like if there's an on button.
Yeah, there's a little switch and you flick it and, the little pilot light essentially at the front of it just
Flick it back off for now. It's probably good to know how it works.
as you flick it on. Rune scrabbles up from the lying position and backs away.
There's one scary thing.
Is that?
Fire. And lots of it.
Walks over to it and gives it a sniff.
Goblin. Repulsive.
Repulsive but crafty.
Yes. And this was crafted to burn forests.
Well, hopefully here soon it'll be used to burn goblin stuff.
I would enjoy that very much.
Bodhi, you doing anything?
Yo, yeah, I don't know. There's a lot going on right now. I just thought we could talk about some nice things, get to know each other as coworkers and as friends.
Well, in that case, could you actually do me a favor, Bodhi? We haven't done this in a while, but we're going to do this because y'all are sitting there. I'm going to give you something to do. Could you roll me a D100 twice, please?
$57. 44.
Okay. So, then, Melon, you're going to have the choice between these two prompts for just a little interaction with Bodhi and you. Scars, or, fittingly, a midnight snack.
Scars.
Okay. Who would like to lead this scene off? Is it going to be Melon scars? Bodhi scars?
I can probably lead off. It's
All
like
right.
probably during this whole time, and it's like during the whole time we've gone around, you've always just seen Mel like itching around his neck and whatnot.
Hey,
Yeah.
what's that all about?
I'll check this shit out.
Oh shit. What
Parts
the?
the fur, and you can see like a nice line.
What the heck? Whoa, that's a lot. That's a long one.
Oh,
What happened?
It was all the way.
Wait, what do you mean all the way?
Yeah. I turn around and it's back there as well.
What happened to you?
Head cut off.
Jesus, that's
Yeah.
so fucking metal. Yeah.
Yeah.
Holy shit. Really? Did you feel it when it got put back on?
No, I was dead.
Oh, duh. Of course. Wow. Oh, I got a couple scars.
Yeah.
And he's going to sit on the ground just very suddenly enough to where the dust underneath him kind of poofs up. And he picks up both of his feet, and you can see little nicks, scars, deep ones. Some chunks you could tell were pulled out of them. And you can kind of see upon further inspection that his legs are covered in nick marks.
How to get those ones?
Oh man, sparring, and also not really understanding the importance of proper footwear until a very
Who
late
needs
time in my
footwear?
life. Well, apparently I do, my guy. Check you look at that.
No, footwear is for the weak. Also, we need to just spar eventually. I need a good fight.
Wait,
One where I don't like immediately almost die again.
wait, really?
No, just like the one with the troll. That one kind of sucked.
Okay,
I love a fight.
As long as we don't use like metal weapons or anything like that, I'm totally down. I got a thing.
Straight
I got a thing.
barrel. Yes.
Yeah, I got a thing. Yes! Oh my god, I'm so oh shit. Oh my god, I'm so excited.
Yes.
I actually want you to, both of you, roll me stealth checks, and we're going to take the lowest here. So that's how we're doing disadvantage right now.
My lowest was a 16.
No.
'Cause
Each of you just roll
no.
once.
I already straight up have a disadvantage.
Oh, okay. Fair.
Yes. I must roll disadvantage.
Also fair.
already.
5. Okay. As you are shouting this, unintentionally, you just get overexcited, Bodhi. And you shout and you catch yourself, you kind of cover your mouth. And Rune looks back at the two of you. I think you were heard. There is a goblin coming to check.
Might need to retreat.
Yeah,
Are
should
we
always do that.
going to eliminate them or hide?
Best to probably hide.
Yeah, I don't think it's smart to draw attention by shedding unnecessary blood.
Shall we just retreat further into the forest?
Okay.
Let's
Yeah.
go. Shh.
Yeah.
And as you look over your shoulder and start retreating further in, you see this goblin with orange and green striped pants, a big old caramel apple looking head, who's walking into the forest right now.
Hello?
And as Chucklehead shouts that, we cut back into the parlor. After about just 4 or 5 minutes, Granny Nightshade returns with a rolled up piece of paper and hands it over to you.
That is he.
Wanted, Will of the Feywild. And there is a sketch of someone you recognize very well. Find this flibberty-gibbet and deliver him to me alive and unharmed, and I shall make you as strong as an octopus. Granny Nightshade.
Will you actually turn us into an octopus?
No strong as one.
Why are human children so ugly?
Glances back down at your forearm. Otto.
Tick tock.
Well, Granny Nightshade, we thank you for your time and in the information. And yeah, so we'll go and try and find this young lad here. Yeah, so thank you. We'll see ourselves out.
And for the tea.
Always a pleasure to have pleasant conversation. See you both soon.
And as the two of you start to adjourn, leaving, heading out the way that you came in, let's take a quick bathroom break, just like 5 minutes, and then see what we can see.
Take it off!
See what we can see happens here in just a little bit. We'll be right back. Don't go anywhere, friends. We'll be back here in between 5 and 8 minutes. See you soon. And we're back. So, boom! The door to Loomlurch shuts behind Wraught and Otto. You are once again back outside, on the bridge made of those interwoven roots and branches and vines. 2 tin soldiers here. What you doing?
Smiling at them and walking away from the soldiers.
So is this what you guys do all day? Like every day? Do you have anything better to do or any hobbies?
Totally no movement, no reaction. Might as well just be robots.
Uncharmable.
That's true. All right. So you said that you were walking away from the guards here. Are you heading just like back out into the forest area, or would you head back down towards the Goblin Marketplace region? Where would you be heading?
I think actually we would try to go in the opposite direction of the Goblin Market. In the best interest of divide and conquer as soon as it kicks off, because we're waiting for Will to get in position, honestly. We're waiting on Will to kick it off. And I know the boys are already at the Goblin Market.
Mm-hmm.
We know that the kids are going to try to get the other kids who are in the workshop and the mill and all of that. So I think that my brain says go somewhere else.
Okay. We, as the two of you have stepped outside, we are going to cut back to the tree room with the 5 portraits in here and Kieren. Like I said, there are a few doors that lead out of this place. There are 3 that you can see. There's also the spiraling staircase that runs up one of the walls. There are those portraits, the mirror. What are you doing?
Well, I'm gonna just remember where the mirror is, because until they tell me smash it, I'm not gonna touch it. Are any of the doors slightly ajar? Do they all look locked?
They're all the ones that you can see are closed. In terms of whether they're locked, hard to, because they are the key style lock, hard to tell if they're locked without going and trying them. But they're all closed.
Can I look through the keyholes?
Sure, absolutely. Do you first look at the one heading towards, that is pointed towards the back of Loomlurch, or the one that heads back towards the front of Loomlurch?
Back.
Back, you peer into a kitchen. And in here, you can see... Alright, so you're looking through this keyhole. Go ahead and make me a perception check with disadvantage because of that. Just to see.
$16.
16. You see a young girl at a table peeling potatoes. And with a 16 beating a 15, you notice the shackle leading from her ankle to the table as she is there peeling potatoes. At that moment, all of you, whether you are in front of Loomlurch, inside of it, or beside it, hear this high-pitched, cacophonous, multi-tonal sorry, that's what you hear, though, as there are these high-pitched screams that come from the western side. And Kieren, you are able to just, like, go back to the door that you just were at, that you came through, specifically, and just opening it up really quick, you can see the scarecrows that were on top of the hill of this garden on this side are screaming their heads off. In a couple cases, literally. And there is the sound of commotion from everywhere as these screams start. Those of you in front of Loomlurch, so Otto and Wraught and Gromp, would see as the 2 tin guards who were here, their heads snap the direction of the sound, and they walk to the edge of the bridge. There isn't a ramp leading down to this side, so they just take a tiny little hop off, drop down to the other side, and begin heading that direction.
Back inside, back inside.
Kai?
To expedite the several things Kai's going to do very, very quickly.
Okay.
Because now it's kicked off. He's going to run right back out into the room with the rocking horse.
Outside.
Really quickly, yes.
Got it.
To scoop it up around the middle and go, "It's me, don't worry about it," and drag it inside.
Okay.
To get it away from there.
It is heavy. Not
But I'm going to put it in front of
impossibly
the...
heavy, but heavy.
I'm going to set him in front of the bookcase that has the mirror. I'll go, "I'll be right back. Just stay here, please." And then the door that goes into the kitchen, if it's unlocked, I'm going through it. If it's locked, can I just ram it down? I'm going to do my goat thing, just ram the door down. No time picking it.
So it's your choice. You could either make a lock-picking check here, or you could try to bash it down. It is going to be harder to just knock down than unlock, but it's your call.
He's going to go for the fastest one.
Okay, it would definitely be faster to knock it down. I will give you advantage on this athletics check because of your goat horns ramming into it. While Kieren is making that roll, the 3, Rune, Bodhi, and Melon, who started to back away into the woods with this goblin approaching, you start to hear this screaming from the distance. This very clearly alarm screaming, and it goes on and on and on. The goblin who had been starting to push into the trees to follow you,
What the?
turns and starts jogging back towards the market.
Cool. Now it's our chance. I'm gonna flip the flamethrower back on.
Okay.
Where's the nearest building?
I mean, the nearest building, depending on your definition of it, would be some of the
Burnable
carts,
structure.
some of the carts that were in the goblin market. Those would be the
Cool.
closest.
Let's go burn them down.
Is that the sign? Is that the signal? Is that what we're supposed? Are we supposed to do
mean-
that?
Wouldn't it be better to have distractions on 2 sides than just one, where one force is collective and then it's like, okay, break them up and cause confusion?
Wait, what? Run that by me again?
Exactly.
I'm sorry. You want to do?
Split people up and confuse them.
Okay,
It's
We're
great
not
for
gonna-
hunting.
but we're not going to hurt anybody, right?
I don't know.
Oh shit. Okay, well, do we have to gamble? Or
Yes. Let's go!
Okay. Oh my god.
Okay. Let me check one thing here really quick. There we go.
I'm sorry, Your Honor. They're stupid.
All right. The two of you start running that direction. Rune, yes, and just hunkers down and takes off at a full dead sprint. And he is faster than you all. So as you are heading that way, he passes you, boom, blinking over about 15 feet away from you, boom, blinking about 45 feet in front of you, just running at full bore. So as you start charging that way, Otto and Wraught, you said that once the tin soldiers were gone, you turned and headed right back inside. You are now in the parlor once again.
Time to find a Leafy Stone.
Yep, let's go. What does a Leafy Stone look like?
I don't know, probably a rock. Get your magic senses out. Use your horns like a dowsing rod.
Do they work that way?
I don't know, and I'm gonna grab his horn and start dragging him around like a dowsing rod.
What are you using his horns to look for?
It's not a well, it's a Leafy Stone.
Okay. So just here in the parlor, is that the goal?
It's not going to be here in the parlor. Nobody keeps anything good in the parlor. We're going to start going and checking doors.
Well, there's one door.
Open it.
Okay. You approach the door. And do you, check inside of it first, or are you just going?
We're just going.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, as you get to the door, your hand is about to touch it, just hovering, approaching the doorknob. And both of you hear this sound from behind you. It's a combination of creaking wood and stretching flesh.
Gross. Turn around.
About 15 feet behind you all, 3 of those armchairs have stretched, grown teeth, large tongues, as where the cushion part was opens up. Nope, different song for this. Thank you very much.
Fucking mimics.
These easy chairs now stretched out into horrifying configurations, with the legs of the chair stretching in different directions, the brown cracked leather stretching into pinky veined flesh where the cushions were, not in a perfect line, but it begins to open in this gaping maw with sharp teeth, long lolling tongues, and the mimic armchairs begin to drag themselves your direction. All right, as Wraught goes to breathe some dragon fire on them, we are going to cut back to right outside of the kitchen. What did you get on that athletics check?
Can I have actually gone to break the mirror first?
You didn't say that's what you were doing, and you specifically said you weren't going to break the mirror until you were told to break it. Now, it is still your character.
11 on the door.
Still your character. 11 on the door. You go into it, slamming into it. The area around the lock the wood starts to crack a little from the impact. So too around the hinges. You didn't get it on that first one.
I'll do it again.
Okay. I'm going to say on this one, you back up, and on the third one, you manage to break the portion of the door around the lock, and it goes flying open, slams open. And what you see in here is a squalid kitchen. But honestly, you don't have a ton of time to focus on the details of the room, because unfolding itself from its curled up position near an oven, where it was apparently dozing, a green scaled creature the size of a large dog, with leathery wings and fuming greenish acrid smoke rising from its nostrils as a, in the scheme of things, small, but all things considered still pretty big, green dragon begins to unfold itself, and in perfect synchronization, as we have this split screen moment of Wraught breathing fire and this little tiny little dragon doing the exact
Don't call me that.
this tiny green dragon doing the exact same thing, just inhaling, filling its chest, and then exhaling this poison breath.
Am I still invisible?
You are actually, let me look up the exact wording of that.
Wasn't it like if you take an attack action or something?
It's the specific wording is going to matter, so let me just double check exactly how it's said here. That attacks or cast a spell. You didn't attack. So no, as the door flings, or as there was the sound of battering coming onto the door, and then it flies open just in immediate response. The thing breathes into the door, doing its guard dragon job. And so, as this happens, before any initiative is rolled, what save do the mimics have to make, Wraught?
Dex.
Ooh, that's not their strong point. Okay. What are we looking for?
12.
They have a +1 here. So let's see. An 11 on the die, so a 12. Nat 20. And a 9. One of them will fail, 2 will succeed.
Well, two will take half damage.
Correct.
So I'm just going to set this whole room on fire, bitches.
Let's go.
Also, since my last level up, my breath weapon has gotten stronger. So is going to be at the total 2d10 with 10 and 7. 17 for the full, and I guess that would be 9 for the half of fire damage.
All right.
And I'm setting that fucking tea set alight.
Absolutely. The tea set, what can of it, what is flammable, goes
I've made
up
caramel
in
out of all
flames.
that sugar.
Absolutely you do. So as you deal a total of 35 damage across the 3 of them, could I also please, from Kieren, get a Constitution saving throw?
Uncanny dodge.
Only, well, that's after you roll. You still have, I mean, you'll have the damage with Uncanny Dodge, but we still have to get the damage first.
14.
14 will succeed! So you will only take half of this. It's 14. So 20, 10 poison damage.
But does the uncanny dodge have that again?
Yes. I do believe, yeah, because you can use it on anything, right? Any type of damage?
Yep.
Yep, then yeah. Just anything you can see hits you with an attack, and you can see, and that is, that's an attack. So, as we have this moment with the poison breath and the fire breath in these 2 separate scenarios, and we have then cutting back out to the trees near the Goblin Market.
A flamethrower starting up.
A flamethrower, and would you immediately start setting something alight as soon as it is within range?
Is it a structure?
It's a cart, yeah.
Close enough.
So then we have the first breath attack from Wraught, then we have the second breath attack from the dragon wormling, then we have, and we see, cutting into the screen, Melon coming in and just setting ablaze one of the carts here in the Goblin Marketplace. The goblins who are around, "Hey, what the fuck is happening? Run! Run!" And they start going and screaming back to the keep! Get the fuck out of here! And they start just running as fast as they can as fire is set. One of them doesn't, though. And there is the one who started to push his way into the tree line, who was running away to find the sound of the screaming, stops and sees this happen.
Hey! What are you doing?
At you, Melon and Bodhi.
Flames are going to start being directed that way next.
Get out of the way! We're just clearing out some old buildings to make room for new ones. Who am I?
Okay. If that's what you say, then the one...
Hey! You cowards! Get back here! Fight them!
And the goblins that had started to scatter.
Okay, boss! Get it! Get the flamethrower back!
And several start turning and running and starting to charge towards Bodhi, Melon, and Rune.
Come on.
That will then... Actually, you know what? I did say 30 or so minutes, but I honestly don't know if there's going to be a better stopping point than 3 separate combats becoming initiated simultaneously. So, as we see mimic armchairs being melted and set ablaze,
Knock down the door, Otto!
goblin carts also being set alight by a goblin flamethrower, a blink dog starting to tackle and take down several goblins, and a invisible satyr managing to avoid most of the poison breath from a green dragon wormling standing guard in this kitchen inside of this hollowed out tree. And there's still a timer. That's where we're going to have to pick up in 2025. Because no way can I run 3 simultaneous combats in the next 10 minutes.
I love
D&D.
Ethan, there was a way to resolve this peacefully, and everyone chose violence.
And everyone chose violence.
Hold on. Did Kai choose violence? No, the dragon chose
No, Kai
violence.
did not choose violence.
chose me.
I didn't choose the violent life.
I'm invisible. He still can't see me. I can salvage this situation.
Honestly, I think I'm the only one who chose violence.
That's kind of true, actually. Well, absolutely incredible session. Genuinely, I am so excited to pick up here. And we will be picking up here, as far as I know, I think we're going to take the first week off of 2024, or first week off of 2025, and pick up Were We Saying Gang on the 11th. So people could have a week off?
Ethan, you know I'm down to play every day of every year.
Well, let's talk, because the 4th would actually work better for us than the 11th. So, we may be back in just 1 week to see exactly how this all concludes in 2025. And until... Let me change the music so it's not quite so dramatic for us just chilling out here. Until... we see you in 2025. I want to give everyone here the chance to say what they're up to, where you can follow them. Don't go anywhere yet, though, those of you in the stream, though, so that we can raid and share the love. Mav, why don't you lead us off?
Hey, everyone.
It's your favorite black guy on the internet.
Don't be a white person and steal that from me.
Yeah,
Thanks.
come on. That's a
Anyway.
bad look for us. That's a bad look for us.
Damn. Anyway.
It was bound to happen. That's what we do.
I know. Before the caucasity just happened.
I scream because I love.
It's your favorite black guy here on the internet. I want to just thank you guys for having us in your home. This has been a wonderful year for the Wylde things and everything. Next year will be our 2nd anniversary, I think. Or
Next year, yeah, we'll have our 2nd anniversary.
Yeah, the 2nd
Next summer.
anniversary.
But
Yeah.
we might be wrapping it up close to then.
Yeah. So, I want to thank you guys. And you can find me here on Twitch at digitalclubhousetv, where I play a lot of cool variety games. Right now, we're playing Fortnite, of course, Marvel Rivals, because it's great. Through Helldivers back in, and I have been slugging away, not in a bad way, but I have been emotionally charged with Dragon Age, the Veilguard.
Not in a bad way.
Yeah, it's not a bad way. And I think I might go back and actually finish Cyberpunk. next year. So yeah,
Heck yeah.
Hey, guys.
Sibs, where can we find y'all? What you got going on?
I'll lead us off. You can't find me online. Good luck.
Easiest one.
I am Califrac in most places, but don't follow me. The government doesn't like it. And I'm just going to be working on various costume stuff over the next little while as soon as the craft room gets cleaned.
Yeah, I think that next year we're going to try to get back into cosplay. We've got a Senshi helmet that we're working on for Ethan. And we're going to try to make Morgan into Consort Radon for competition. That's going to be fun.
I didn't know about this.
Yeah, well, stand there and look pretty.
Sure.
Please do Laios with me.
Yep.
Come on.
Oh, no, he
please.
has to be
I am
Laios.
Laios.
Required.
And I'm going to be Draconic Fallon.
Lovely.
While Lauren is doing Thirst Draconic Fallon.
I'm sheltered.
Same hat! Same hat!
Also, check out Joe's dice that she makes. They're super cool.
You don't have to do that.
Oh. Alright, cool. Lauren, my love.
Nice.
Bitch.
I'm in places, mostly Thousand Faces Cosplay or 95% Lauren on Instagram. I'm in other places too, but you gotta look for it. Cheeky. And I want to work on costumes this coming year. And I want to actually play some more games. I have actively decided not to reinstall The Witcher 3 and instead move forward with new games.
But Sarah and I are going to cosplay Escalon Lambert.
Yeah, it's just beautiful, and it's clearly my favorite. But I've had a wonderful year with you guys and my friends, and telling this crazy story and getting to know probably one of my favorite characters.
Do you, if you could type the link in for them, Joe.
I'll get it.
Oh, yep. We should have it pinned also somewhere, but we're gonna post the link for you, Lemon.
I'm far too lazy.
And
Boy, gay dice.
you can find more of our stuff on Go Buff Yourself, the podcast. While TikTok still exists, and I kind of hope it will, so I don't have to rebuild that audience. You can find the Buff DM for D&D advice, or our YouTube. Thousand Faces Cosplay has almost all of the same content. I also have one cool thing that I'm working on in the new year, and I'm putting this in the chat as well. And that is, I am opening up some games on Start Playing Games, both 5e and Mothership. So, if you've ever wanted to play a TTRPG, couldn't find a group, I am available for hire now as a DM and warden. I would love to tell some stories with y'all. But I think those are our big announcements. So, we are going to raid here. Let's get that going. And until we see you all in 2025, take care of yourselves. Be good to yourselves and each other. That's what it's all about. In the end, it's just being good to one another. So, be good to yourselves. Be good to each other. Drink some water. Get outside. Do all those good things. And stay wild, friends. See you in 2025. And we